Malayalam cinema industry is reeling from a controversy, one that involves allegations of sexual harassment and abuse of women professionals. The sequence of events began in October 2017. This when an actress was allegedly assaulted by an industry stalwart. This incident ignited a wave of criticism and intensified demands for accountability. In response, the Hema committee was established in 2018 to investigate such allegations and recommend measures for reform. Now, the report has exposed sexual harassment, exploitation and lobbying within the Malayalam film industry. After the Hema committee report was made public, more and more women are now speaking out. And now the explosive accusations of sexual misconduct by those sitting at the apex of the Malayalam film industry. Director Ranjith and actor Siddiq have resigned their respective positions as chairman of Kerala Chalachitra Academy and General Secretary of AMMA, the Association of Malayalam Movie Artists. The resignations come in the wake of Justice K. Hema Committee's report. And so first, it was a delayed publication of the report, that too when it was submitted way back in 2019. And the latest allegation against the Kerala government is that it's trying to protect the perpetrators. Kerala's LDF government is indeed in a tight spot, with opposition BJP and Congress raising questions about the genuineness of Pinarayi Vijayan's government's stance. More importantly, will special investigation bring justice to the sexual abuse in the Malayalam cinema? Will law catch up with the culprits? We'll take that questions to our guests in just a bit. But first up, let me also bring to you the highlights of the Hema Committee report. What are the revelations? Let's break them down for you. The field to make adjustments and compromises. What kind of adjustments and compromises? The second revelation is that female actors were also asked to make themselves available for sex on demand. At the same time, the third revelation, which is equally startling, is that women in cinema feel unsafe to stay alone in hotels that are arranged for them while they are shooting. Why so? Because room doors are knocked by intoxicated men working in cinema. These intoxicated men repeatedly bang at the door by force. These are all revelations that have now stemmed in the report. Many men and women artists have stated that they are publicly threatened. Various remarks of sexual color are made in public against these females. 10 to 15 individuals of the Malayalam film industry have constituted a power group. What is this power group? Well, it says that if the power group is not pleased with an actress, he or she is prevented from working. At the same time, such unauthorized banning happens due to very silly reasons. The Hema Committee report has also revived the Malayalam industry in a sort of a fresh Me Too movement of sorts. Several women have now come out and made startling revelations. Actor Revati Sampath has accused Siddiq of sexual abuse and branded him as a criminal. She recalls her own association with Siddiq. She says that she addressed him as uncle. She also said that Siddiq invited her to attend a preview of a movie and she attended it with her parents. She also claims that after her parents left the venue, the conversation turned sexual. She alleged that Siddiq locked the door and assaulted her. She also claims that he made sexual favors demand in exchange for roles. Now, at the same time, Bengali actor Srilekha Mitra has accused director Ranjith of making advances towards her during pre-production of a movie in 2019, and she clarified that she was not sexually assaulted. Also, Malayalam actor Minu Munui has accused actor Mukesh and two others of physical and verbal abuse in 2013 while working on a project. And in her Facebook post, she actually claims that she tried her best to cooperate, but the abuse became so unbearable that the actress revealed she was forced to leave the Malayalam film industry and relocate all the way to Chennai. Actor Mukesh is also, by the way, a CPIM MLA. Another Malayalam actor has accused actor Riaz Khan of sexual misconduct over a phone call. She claims that Riaz contacted her late at night and even spoke about his sexual interests. She alleges that Riaz Khan asked her if she was interested in a sexual relationship. When she rejected, he reportedly asked her to arrange some women for him. But that's not where it ends. Actor Siddiq has now filed a police complaint against the actress who has accused him of sexual assault. Siddiq has alleged that the actress was fabricating and spreading false and damaging accusations against him. Siddique claims that he first met the complainant at a movie's preview along when she was accompanied by her own parents. In his complaint, he also alleges that discrepancies in the victim's statement. He says that no allegations of any physical contact or rape were raised by her in her social media post back in the year 2019 and 2021. Remember, these counter arguments are equally important because they undermine in fact, the value of all those claims that have been made. Siddique has alleged that the allegations were raised from 24th of August this year, in 2024 only, and that it is a concerted effort to tarnish his reputation, taking advantage of the present situation. And with that, we open the big question on the Hema committee report, which is now turning out to be Mollywood's dirty picture. Will law finally catch up with these culprits?
Sexually abused. It was a trap.
He was touching my hand, my bangles, and it was just an innocent gesture maybe. But I wasn't comfortable because I was not in that friend zone with him.
And with that, let me now introduce our esteemed panelists. I'm joined in by Mr. Vivek Srivastav, who's a leader of the left. Also joined in by Ranjini, who's a renowned actress. Barkha Trehan, who's an activist, and Sandhya Raju, who's a lawyer and associated with a feminist group. Ranjini, if I may begin with you to set the tone for this debate. First of all, I know that you're somebody who's also recorded her statements with the Hema committee. While you do share your experiences, I'd also like to ask you, have you been satisfied with everything that's been mentioned in the Hema committee report? Because there are also allegations that it was heavily vetted before it was finally published.
So whatever is in the published report, that's some of the stories anyway, not stories, some of the facts. There are more, but obviously for the protection of the participants, because we need to be anonymous, and that's the reason why some have been redacted. So whatever is written or whatever is published, that's the fact, that's the truth. And it doesn't only confine to Malayalam industry, it confined to every Indian film industry as well. But nobody's talking about it except the Malayalam, because I have to thank the Kerala government for constituting such a committee because of the rigorous fight of WCC after the assault of the actress in 2017. That such a committee has been constituted. Because they were WCC was people who were fighting for it, that there should be a committee for the grievances. So, and our government has listened, and they have constituted one in the form of Justice Hema committee, where all the aggrieved parties can come there and because they want to study what's really happening in this industry, and that's a very, very welcoming movement, and also it's a historic one.
But so Ranjini, I also want to know from you, why did you file for a stay petition in the High Court? I believe you had your own reasons to be skeptical about publishing of the Hema committee report.
Right. From the beginning, I'm the first person to appear as a participant once the hearing was established. I was the first to appear and record my statement. However, before appearing, we were given a strong assurances that confidentiality and privacy will be maintained, because we were given a questionnaire prior for the hearing, and I relied on that, and that's the reason I went to the hearing. And after giving my versions, I was given a consent form to sign that whatever I've said or whatever I've appeared.
All right.
So, when the when the report was about to publish, for the past 5 years, I was not given a chance to read my statement. I've been waiting that I'll be getting it one day, but one fine day, I think 13th of August, there was a case, and that's where I learned that the government is, publishing the report, and that's when the alarm bells started ringing, because I was relying that consent forms have been signed, and how is it possible? There's no qualms in publishing the report.
All right.
I don't have any qualms about it. I want the report to be published, because from the first day itself, I've been telling everyone that report should be published.
All right. But have you been satisfied?
No. Let me complete this. However, because of the consent, it has to be, protected, because we have to see the statement, and we have to see whether that statement, is correctly compiled in the report, the unedited report. And then once we are satisfied, then we can give our consent for the publication. That's where everything went pear-shaped. And that's the reason why I appeared, I filed a petition concerning the consent, because consent is a very valuable document, which everyone, even the Women Commission, has failed miserably to protect our rights, because and my anonymity has gone haywire now, because everyone knows I was the first to appear, and I'm one of the person who has appeared in the hearing. So
your concern, all right, let me place this into perspective. Your concern is confidentiality, the identity of everyone who's in fact making those depositions with the committee, right? But are you satisfied with what has eventually been published in the report, before I quickly now move ahead in this debate?
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Vivek Srivastava,
because,
all right. I have my other panelists as well. Let me quickly bring them in. Vivek Srivastava, the big allegation against the LDF government is that it is protecting the perpetrators. Do you agree or not that there has been a conscious sort of delay in the publishing of this entire report? Not to forget the fact that the SIT is also raising questions, because apparently the SIT is not going to probe into everything that's been shared, particularly by the Hema committee report, and that it's still awaiting orders from the Home Department in the state.
You have to understand one thing, that the government and this Chief Minister has always acted as a facilitator. Whether it was the Women of Cinema Collective, on their insistence, on their request, when they met the Chief Minister, they said that you must have a committee, the committee form. And, but it was always posh, it was always in place. That is for the protection of women against sexual harassment at workplace. So this Act of 2013 was always in place. However, any government cannot act till complaints are filed. If nobody anywhere in the country, then it is difficult for the government to act. It is true everywhere. This is not the story only in the Malayalam film industry. It is the same story in Bhojpuri film industry, Hollywood, across the nation, and across offices. Why only the film industry? So I'm not trying to say that, but yes, as the governor said today, Arif Mohammad Khan, I mean, he's a person who's known not to be a very great supporter of the Chief Minister, but he said yes, in this case he trusts the Chief Minister and he feels that the right decisions are being taken and something is going to come out of it. So, and you see, in Kerala, it is always the UDF versus the LDF. Majority member parliaments have been from the UDF. 2013, when the Act POSH was passed, it was the Congress government. So I don't want to go into Congress versus Communist.
Right.
But you see, it's an independent industry with private players. And the only request is that, I mean, it's unfortunate that the conditions in this country are so uncongenial that women and girls cannot come out openly and stand up and go to police stations or talk to the society about the problem they are facing. It is so bad. So it is not about politics or parties. It is about the society in which we live. That something wrong is being done and people are not able to come out and report about it. They don't even feel safe in reporting. This is the worst
but
part
if
of
you're
it.
talking about reporting, then Vivek Srivastav, this is the big question that's being posed by the leader of opposition, Mr. Satisan, who's saying that the government clearly doesn't want everything that's been shared in the Hema committee report to be investigated, which is why the SIT, that entire press release which came from the Chief Minister's office doesn't even mention the name of the Hema committee report. This is where the problem lies. Do you agree?
No, I do not agree, because as I am telling you, in Kerala, whatever be the government, be it the Congress government, they have the majority member parliamentarians. They were in power in 2013 when the POSH Act was passed. So let's not try to throw the.
You know, every time you are going to take POSH Act's name, I'll have to in fact bring in Sandhya on that, Sandhya Raju. The bone of contention, it seems, according to what Vivek is mentioning, is that POSH Act of 2013. Does that explain the delay of over 5 years? Because if the report, no, I'm sorry, I'm running short of time. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Please hold your.
One clause of POSH Act, just a second. One clause of POSH Act, which is very controversial, is that within 3 months you have to report about the mishappening, ideally, and only then an action can take place. This complicates the matter a lot for any government, including ours. Now
But that still doesn't answer the delay in publishing the report. Sandhya Raju, what does POSH Act have to do with the delay in publishing of the report? May I please hear Sandhya uninterrupted?
Yeah, so the thing is, POSH Act comes in 2013. 2017, WCC and CCRRA file a petition in the High Court saying that internal complaints committees have not been set up, or the local complaints committees are not functioning. Once we filed that petition, soon after a year, I think local complaints committees have been set up. And by the time the case eventually got heard, finally the court said that production houses have to set up, besides the other associations, all production houses had to set up internal complaints committees. Now the thing is, we are not talking about internal complaints committee now. Once the incident happened, the reason why women refuse to come and file a complaint is because they face marginalization, and the entire reasoning is stated in the Hema committee report that women were refusing or were reluctant to file complaints was because they will lose opportunities, or if they complain, they will not get any kind of, they are not going to get any further offers, and that is reflected. And those who objected to it, or those who objected to the actions of these people, they were
Sandhya,
denied.
I'm going to request my team to look into your audio, because there seems to be some disturbance over there. I'm going to quickly, in fact, bring in Barkha Trehan on that note. Barkha, we have already seen a Me Too movement happen in Bollywood. Often it's noted that, there's always a fear of a character assassination that follows. Of course, the need for more concrete eyewitnesses or solid evidence to back those claims. But so far, borrowing from how we've seen a Me Too movement in Bollywood fail, what are the learnings currently? Because as all of us do acknowledge, this is not just something that's happening in the Malayalam industry. There's the Bhojpuri industry, there's the Tamil movie industry as well. What can one learn?
Yeah. See, Akansha, it's happening all over. Yeah, I agree with you. But again, on mere allegations, we can't pass any verdict. So there should be a fair investigation.
True.
And with the whole process, we will come to know the truth. We have to wait to know the truth. It's just an allegation. Why do we always think that what woman is saying is 100% true? So we have to see the other side of the coin. Law will take its own course because it takes time. We as a country, we believe in the courts. And see, I think one of the best thing is that Mr. Siddiqui and the other person has already given their resignation. So now they are not using their power and all. So now a fair investigation can be done, and then let people come to know what is the truth, whether the man is right or the woman is right. See, allegations we can put very easily, but you have to have enough evidences to prove your allegations. And being a woman, every woman will think that yes, this man might have done something wrong. He is only guilty. But in 21st century. We're living in the 21st century. Many things are done due to vendetta. So we cannot draw conclusions on allegations.
All right,
And the
Sandhya
Chief
is back.
Minister,
Right, finish your point and then I'll go to Sandhya quickly. Barka.
and all the chief ministers, I will say, be it UP, be it any place, every chief minister is trying their level best that women should be given security, they should be given safety. They are trying their level, and law is also there. Everything is there. Implementation, a little bit more needs to be done. Fast track courts need to be there in so that justice is given, because justice delayed is justice denied. I believe in this.
Fair enough, and you know, it's a good point that you make. Justice delayed is justice denied. But Sandhya, Raju, so many times the women themselves delay in coming out in the open. Of course, while one understands and is sympathetic towards the underlying fear of, as I was highlighting, of character assassination, of what will people say, but it is the time which is always of crucial importance, because remember, the first question that is always posed to the victim is that why now? Why were you silent? Why after so many years? How is law to, you know, sort of work on that aspect of these matters?
You know, courts have been quite progressive enough in recent years, and they have really understood why women delay in making their complaints. And the fact that, you know, if you see the spate of how so many women have really come out and they've spoken out about the allegations which they face, is precisely because they felt that there is a support, there is someone who's listening, and we might get some kind of justice. You know, that is the only reason why a lot of people have been coming out after the Hema committee report has really come out. Before that, they were worried whether if we say whether you know, I will lose any opportunity, because this could be the bread and butter also for them, you know. So the thing is, it's very important that we understand, especially when we talk about I'm talking about when you're talking about violence related issues for women, whether it be domestic and especially sexual. Women think twice, thrice, four times before they actually come out, because the lack of support, and our system unfortunately has not been able to provide that kind of support or that confidence that please come, we will deal with your case in a very effective manner, you don't have to worry. The thing is, as soon as you file a complaint, immediately the tarnishing happens, immediately her words are questioned, immediately things are like, why you didn't come before, why you didn't say that before, or you know, or you were wearing this clothes, why did you clothe these kind of clothes, or you were walking out in the night, why did you go out in the night, why didn't you say, tell people that he was knocking. These are very delicate issues, and she needs someone who, the woman will need someone who will be able to tell her, don't worry, there is a mechanism. Even I don't think half the people know that you can go to a local complaints committee.
Right.
There, you know, if an issue happens, the thing is, that is the kind of awareness is the responsibility of the government, of the state, but there is no kind of you know, proactive approach by the state to provide that kind of advocacy. So when that happens, even the local complaints committee members, many of them come attend meetings only because of their interest or commitment to the issue. Otherwise, no TA, nothing. So in that case, when it's a very half-hearted attempt by the state to deal with this issue, definitely the people are not going to feel confident.
All right. And I think that is something Ranjini had, in fact, very rightly highlighted right now. But Barkha wants to make a point. Barkha, you know, we have Ranjini over here. She made that very point about protecting the woman's, you know, identity. There are fears for her life when she's stepping out in the public arena, and it should be the state's responsibility to protect the victim. But I don't know what you'd like to say in a rebuttal to that. Please go ahead.
In fact, the identity of everyone should not be disclosed, neither woman, neither the man, until he is proven guilty. I have already spoken about this many times. Now, next thing which I wanted to highlight here is men also go through a lot of trauma. Their character assassination is also done. They go through a lot of hell, and if at all these allegations are found false, where are they? They are on barren land. They are never heard. The allegation doesn't mean that the other side won't be heard. They should be given opportunity to tell their side as well. Times have changed, and we should understand women's safety is 100% very important.
All right, we'll have to shorten our responses because I'm going to quickly now start wrapping up. Sandhya, quick point from you.
Say one thing, just because a case does not get proved does not mean that the woman is making a false statement. It is technical evidence because of certain delays or because the evidence is not there, and it doesn't mean that the accused may be totally or completely innocent. What we have to really understand is that because of these factors, it is precisely why we are having an inquiry. When we say an inquiry based on natural justice.
All right.
But that doesn't mean that we give
76%,
special preference
more
to
than
anyone.
76% cases are found false. More than 76%.
No.
What would you like to say about those?
As a lawyer,
I don't think we cannot quote figures like these.
Issue, I would like to say that it is not because they are false. It is because they are compromised or compromised at some stage or the other, and that is why. And compromise
so we need to teach women. We need to
all right, Vivek Srivastav, I'd like to bring you in. The name of actor Mukesh.
All right, just pull it down.
All right,
that will just.
All right, ladies, I need to move ahead in this debate.
That's why one last thing which I want to say, it is the standard operating protocol.
Ladies, I cannot hear anything. The points that you are trying to make right now are, getting diluted because your voices are getting dissolved. You're speaking over each other. Vivek Srivastav, I need to get to the big question. Actor Mukesh is also a CPIM MLA, just like Ranjith and Siddiqui, who've tendered in their resignations. Should we now expect him also to step down? Because that's a massive allegation against the Pinarayi Vijayan government that you're afraid of skeletons stumbling out of your own closet.
It's not though. You see, now there are 2 points. Firstly, women who are from the marginalized sections of the society, when they are working and it is their bread and butter, as rightly said by Sandhya, it is very difficult for them to come out in open and report the cases and talk openly. I agree. But on the other hand, Barkha is also correct. There are many women who are actually from very good backgrounds, and you are compromising when the things are happening, and then you come out with the complaints extremely late, But
Vivek, you've still not answered my question. I need to wrap up, please.
We'll have to see. The party is talking to him, and we will have our own investigations in place. Also, it is not, as if anybody just comes up 10 years down the line and says something happened and then we believe. You have to, rightly said by Barkha, some protection has to be given to the people whom you are accusing also. They are also losing their face in their own families, in their own society, in their own neighborhoods. So, till the investigation is over and something comes out, you cannot still say that Siddiq or Ranjith, okay, fine. If I speak it out, people will say he's against the women empowerment. No, not at all. But then right now, we have to investigate first. In MJ Akbar's case, he was from the media, your industry. There were so many cases. In some particular cases, journalists from well-to-do backgrounds, they filed cases against him, and they were educated.
Yes, exactly.
All right, I'd like to end with Ranjani's thoughts. Ranjani, we are seeing how, the Women in Cinema Collective has now brought in this entire movement, which is also basically to address safer workspaces for women. Unfortunately, we are addressing this also at a time when the country is confronted with that horrific rape and murder in Kolkata. So, I'd like you to give in your closing thoughts, because there's always this battle about who to believe, who not to believe, and perhaps it is in these legal battles that the entire cases are sort of dissolved and lost.
Okay, basically what I want to highlight here is ICC will never work in the entertainment arena, because ours is a close-knit industry, and words will go out. So that's right. It's ICC will not work because the panelist himself they have to come from the same production house or whoever is involved in the production, and then you have only one external factor. So that will never ever work because confidentiality will be tempered over there itself. So the best thing is, this is what I have been suggesting to at the hearing, Hema committee hearing, that an entertainment tribunal should be installed, should be constituted. And there should be a new law for the people, for the women who are working in the film industry or the glamorous world. Okay, so their rights. I mean, a new legislation should be there for the protection of them, and especially for the online harassment, because nowadays we have YouTubes and stuff like that. So that has to be curbed, and that has to be looked after. And another thing is, while constituting the tribunal, it should be there should be a bar from the media because of the paparazzi. So because as a celebrity, we lose, our anonymity.
All right.
So that's the reason why I suggested those. I hope all this will be heard by the government, and Parliament should do something about it. And we have strong MPs. There are Hema Malini ji,
Right.
Jaya Bachchan ji, and then we have
All right.
Kangana Ranaut.
And most
So
importantly,
voicing, I
as
hope-
women of privilege, all of us over here can perhaps ensure that there are safer workspaces for women, especially compared to those women who are not of privilege. Many thanks to you, ladies, and Vivek for joining in on this discussion on CNN News 18. And coming up after a quick break, actor Darshan is receiving VIP treatment in a Bengaluru jail. He's in fact spotted chilling with gangsters, enjoying a beverage and a smoke. Isn't this mockery of the justice system? We'll be probing that question in just a bit.
As a leader.
Committee report, Malayalam director Ranjith is quit as the chief of Kerala Chalchitra Academy, and this has happened after Bengali actor Srilekha Mitra accused him of sexually harassing her during the auditions of one of his films back in 2009. Along with Ranjith, noted actor Siddique is also resigned as the General Secretary of the Association of Malayalam Movie Artists following sexual assault allegations raised by a woman actor on August 24th. The allegations had sparked fresh trouble for the Pinarayi Vijayan government, which is now facing opposition flack on its alleged inaction over the Justice Hema Committee report. The report has revealed instances of harassment and exploitation of women in the Malayalam film industry, and politics is now erupted over the matter, with both the Congress and BJP accusing the CPIM-led government on trying to protect the accused.
मैं मानता हूँ कि ये बड़ी निहायत शर्मनाक बात कि जहाँ महिलाओं के खिलाफ ऐसे अपराध देखने में आए। हमारी संस्कृति क्या है, हमारा इतिहास क्या है? अरे हम तो चाहे ज्ञान हो, चाहे समृद्धि हो, चाहे शक्ति हो, हर चीज़ को स्त्रीलिंग में देखते हैं और उसकी पूजा करते हैं। और यहाँ पे हमारी अपनी बहनों बेटियों के साथ इस तरह का व्यवहार देखने को मिले तो मेरा तो इस मामले पर बोलने को भी मुझे शब्द नहीं मिलते कि कितने कड़े शब्दों का प्रयोग किया जाए।
CNN News 18's Neetu Regukumar spoke with Beena Paul, who's the film editor and a member of the Women in Cinema Collective. Remember, Women in Cinema Collective was the one organization that had many important females from the industry, very, very reputed names, including actors like Parvati, who were part of that collective. They had raised severe allegations of sexual harassment and workplace harassment when it is about the Malayalam film industry. Now, Beena Paul, has in fact spoken about the resignations, these high-profile resignations of not just director Ranjith, but also actor Siddique. Let's take a look.
Two resignations in the morning itself, one by State Chalachitra Academy and Filmmaker Chairman and Filmmaker Ranjith, and Siddique, who is also the General Secretary of the Association of Malayalam Movie Artists. How do you see this resignation as someone who has been in the industry for long and also as a founding member of the Women in Cinema Collective?
Well, what the Women in Cinema Collective has been saying all along is there are many problems. There are systemic problems.
Welcome back. You're watching Plain Speak. Now, a jail term would typically mean a life devoid of freedom and common luxuries and in accordance with the jail rules, which are not only challenging but ensure that a prisoner's life is under constant watch. But if you're a VIP prisoner in India, your stay in the jail might not be all that tough. Case in point, in a photograph that went viral on August 25th, Kannada actor Darshan can be seen with a coffee mug in his hand and smoking, chatting with two rowdy cheaters. In another viral video, Darshan can also be seen making a video call from prison. The Karnataka government is currently under fire and has ordered a probe and suspended 9 jail officials. Remember, Darshan has been charged with murder of Renuka Swami. The question we are asking right now, isn't this mockery of the justice system? But remember, actor Darshan is not the only one. There are several others who've received VVIP treatments in Indian jails. They're jailed in money for laundering charges. And in fact, let me bring in the example of Aam Aadmi Party leader Satyam Jain, who can be seen in that picture getting a massage inside Tihar jail. Also convicted in a rape case, Ram Rahim stayed in AC rooms that had access to even mineral water supply, a private assistant in the Rohtak jail. During her own jail term, Sasikala also received 5 rooms, a private cook and kitchen space in Bengaluru jail. Mind you, that's also been shared in a special report that was filed by the DIG prisons. During his own jail term, the former railway minister of the country, Lalu Yadav, had a TV, personal cooks and even customized meals in the Birsa Munda jail. And with that, let's now open up the question as far as the VIP privileges for actors. Is this mockery of the justice system or not? And with that, we'll quickly bring in our guests.
ನೋಡಿದಾಗ ಸರ್ ಪಶ್ಚಾತ್ತಾಪನೆ ಪಡ್ತಿಲ್ಲ
ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅನಿಸೇನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
He is enjoying life as if he has been given a place to rest like a resort, not a jail. This shows the special treatment that Karnataka Congress government gives to criminals.
ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ಬಹುಶಃ ದುಡ್ಡು ತಗೊಂಡು ಮಾಡಿದಾರೆ ಏನು ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಎಂಕ್ವೈರಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ 7 ಜನರನ್ನು ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಇನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರನ್ನೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಸ್ಪೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
I'm joined in by Madhu N. Rao, who's the spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, Sanket Enagi, who's an advocate and also backs the Congress party. Also joined in by Mr. Sanjay Sahai, who's a former ADGP of Karnataka. Many thanks to you, gentlemen, for joining in. Sanket Enagi, if I could begin with you, what sort of a parallel government is running in the jails, considering criminal actors like Darshan, and of course we all know politicians like Sasikala have already enjoyed those kind of luxuries in the Bengaluru jail?
It is all because of the nexus between the officials of the jail and jail authorities and those who are inside the jail as the prisoners or the under trials. Sometimes they have the popularity or influence to influence them, by which reason they get all the facilities despite there is no provision as such under the law to get all these facilities which are considered as a special privileges. Law does not discriminate between an offender A or B about the treatment to be given in the jail authority. And insofar as under trial prisoners are concerned, except the security reasons which are specified, there is no discrimination or distinction between them insofar as the treatment to be given to them. But in case there are certain things happening which are unpleasant in the jail, inside the jail, especially insofar as the privileges are being given, special treatments are being given, it is only the jail authorities who should be directly held responsible for having permitted it. And there are certain situations or circumstances wherein, because of the court order, certain interventions have been made. A special food has been given, diet food, so treatment. There are with the guidelines of the court and the court order, but this is not such a case.
All right, Madhu and Rao, is this just about a nexus within jail and only jail authorities to be answered? Because it's not just Karnataka, to be honest. We've seen this happen across jails. We've seen it being very rampant in Tihar jail in Delhi itself. But all those instances that we quoted, even Ram Rahim was given special treatment in the Haryana jail, which was very much under the BJP government of Mr. Khattar. So having said that, is this just about the jail authorities running a nexus within jail? Because we've seen suspensions happen today. Why can't those who...
Well, good evening, Akanksha. Well, coming from this point of the case, I think this is a El Chapo moment for Darshan, or a Pablo Escobar moment for the Darshan. I think this is uncalled for. Karnataka, there have been such examples happening, but very rare. But this happens especially when Congress government comes in. I really feel bad that when the administration collapses, this is going to happen. Now look at the Home Minister and look at the Chief Minister. Chief Minister is busy safeguarding his own case. Where is the Home Minister? And the crime against women is going so much increasing. More than 6,500 cases have been registered in Karnataka. And what has the police been doing? Nothing. They have not been given a free hand. And now we see such things happening, for which Parmeshwar comes out and says, well, we will take an action. And look at the statement of Mr. Priyank Kharge. He blames that there is a local adjustment. What is this local adjustment, Mr. Minister? I really do not understand. Is this how Mr. Siddaramaya's cabinet is functioning? Can't they have some force on the police force to control them as to see what is happening? I heard just about a week back there was a check in the police prisons and all, and they confiscated few mobiles. And what happened to these? Is this the way it is functioning? We really question the intent of the police and also this government in having really good administration. This is what we are asking for at the least. And now you let alone Mr. Darshan, who is a he's not a convict though. He is an accused though. Whatever it may be. How can he be given a mobile phone? How can he be talking with a rowdy sheeter? How is it possible he is given so much of facility?
Those are very pertinent questions, and it's not a first. After having seen I'm going to quote the example of Sasikala, and there's in fact an entire 295-page inquiry report which about really Sasikala was moving around in the prison. There's also, they've also raised concerns that there were perhaps an amount of 2 crore rupees that was responsible for the kind of freedom that she had, where she was given cooks, she had an AC room. So it's not a first for this Bengaluru jail. And yet the government allows this kind of rampant disrespect for the law of the state.
First of all, what has happened is not a good precedent at all. It is very bad precedent, and one must accept the guilt, especially from the officer's level. And the Home Minister also is taking the matter very seriously, and he has already taken action also for inquiry. And I'm told that he has even suspended certain officials who are in response to and also congratulate media for having highlighted these issues which are happening in the jail. But one thing is clear, one cannot directly jump the gun and say that it is only the Home Minister who is providing all these facilities or the Chief Minister allowing this. No, it's not so. It cannot be so. It's necessary influential people who are under trial.
Fair enough, but that nexus is operating underneath your government, Sanket Enagi. It is underneath the government which is currently in power in Karnataka. But Mr. Sanjay Sahai, I'd like to bring you in. First of all, thank you so much for so patiently awaiting your turn. But Mr. Sahai, as the former ADGP in Karnataka, I'm sure you're very much aware of this report. that report and the observations that have been shared in that report, is this a complete failure on the part of what we are seeing in the Karnataka government? Because whether it is Sasikala or Darshan, we are seeing this is happening very much under the Siddaramaiah government in Karnataka. I'm going to also get into examples from other parts of the country, but Karnataka is in focus right now.
See, the question of is not of this report or Rupa's report which was presented, all that was done. It was in line for quite some time in 2017, and based on that, there was Vinay Kumar committee report as well.
Yes.
And it was a, I think, single member committee which detailed most of the things and basically substantiated and we are seeing currently has been known, it has been a part of the playbook. It is very difficult to understand why it is becoming seemingly impossible to correct the correctional services itself. So that is the biggest problem which is facing, I think, the administration. Now, why it is happening is the issue. Now, the whole official machinery which works out there is in the control of the government, is in control of the prisons department. All things are happening on a day-to-day basis. Do we have audit mechanism? There is a CCTV in place, the whole CCTV network in place, and if we put what we call artificial intelligence and variety of other technologies like geofencing and facial recognition, you will be able to track every single inmate across the whole campus. Central. Why it is not happening is the question. If it is not happening, a broken investigative system and lots of things which happen during the judicial process. And finally, when he lands in the correctional services, that is the prison. And if this is the state of affairs, I think at one single point in time, it breaks our trust into the whole trust of the whole system.
But I want you to clarify it on record. Who's responsible for this nexus? Is this just the jail authorities who are responsible for such a nexus?
See, in India, we talk about ecosystem, we talk about systemic failure and all that. So it will be very difficult to say that precisely this person or this system is responsible for that. But at the end of the day, there is something called governance mechanism. And the governance mechanism is the state government, and below the state government is the prison administration. So broadly, it falls under their prerogative, under their area of responsibility. There is absolutely no denying that fact. So this is broadly as it stands.
Madhura, could I bring you in on how, questions are also being raised at the BJP government for the kind of VIP treatment that Ram Rahim had received in the Haryana jail? What did the BJP government do that time?
Well, wherever it is bad. Now, see, let me come to this specific issue of Mr. Darshan. There have been reports where that he was somehow being contacted by the accused to get a help and all. Now, is this being the case? I think shouldn't have been the Home Minister be, sort of a very taking a strict action or being very strict with respect to at least these things? I mean, why is this thing happening again and again? That's the basic question we've been posing. Akanksha, let me tell you, since past 1.5 years, there's absolutely no fear of law and order in Karnataka. It's been depleting, going down and down day by day. Now, this is the reason why people have taken for ransom. They know that nothing is going to happen. No action will be taken. It is only, everything is just being told that we will take an action. What action has been taken? Fair enough. It has happened. What action has been taken? I will tell you, after 2 weeks, everyone who was suspended will be reinstated back. What the attitude of this government is, like fake has happened, register an FIR. Someone scolded, register an FIR. After a lot of, halla bulla, these people have registered 3 FIRs. Why did they not even register an FIR? Let them, after we made a lot of, sound about this, they registered an FIR. Everyone started coming and talking. Even the Chief Minister is on record. So what I want to say so much, that there has been depleting law and order situation in Karnataka that must be accepted by the Home Minister. Let them please take action and forget about their own selfish motives.
Sanket Enagi, I think the question over here is is the Karnataka government, have actually they been caught napping? Because that is the point that's now coming out. Were you waiting for that particular image, or was the government waiting for that particular image to go viral, for somebody to leak that image, and then for the government to actually sit up and smell the coffee?
As Mr. Sanjay Sahai has said, it's a vicarious liability of the government, and it's the responsibility of every government which is in response to the governance failure. One has to accept it. One cannot deny the fact. But ultimately, these are the things where the problems are being highlighted. One has to fix the problem, find the solution, see that it should not be repeated. But just making allegations.
But Sanket, that is exactly what's happened after Sasikala and that entire report on Sasikala. That entire incident is now being repeated. In fact, over here you have somebody who's being accused of a murder.
Now at least the government is able to see as to where they have gone wrong. How the report has not been.
I must say that it's getting from bad to worse, because as I said, now it's the case of a dreaded criminal. If it was earlier Sasikala who was in fact accused of blatant corruption, now you have a dreaded criminal.
That's correct. But I think the government has to wake up at least now from this deep slumber and has to see some actions taken in the matter. Just say accusing someone or finding fault with some officers is not a solution. At the end of the day, one has to set the system right, and it's the responsibility of the government primarily. And in my opinion, it is not just the issue of one authority or one officer of one jail. It may be happening in other jails too. So at the earliest, the government has to look into this matter very seriously and address this issue and fix the problem for it.
Mr. Sahai, the other important concern that's been raised whenever we talk about VIP treatment being meted out to all these inmates, whether in the case of, say, a Vishal and Vikas Yadav in the Nitish Katara murder case, or a Sanjeev Nanda in the BMW hit and run case, Manu Sharma in the case of Jessica Lal murder case, all of them. What was particularly noticed was, how the granting of frequent paroles and furloughs. They are able to get out. Even in the case of actor Sanjay Dutt, he was able to receive several paroles during the 5 years that he was spending inside jail. Where is a mechanism to address these issues? And perhaps we need a proper mechanism, not just at the state level, but at the level of the
you from whatever you have prompted me. I think that the jail administration across the country is in a pathetic shape. And it is very difficult to make out whether it is a correctional mechanism or it is to consolidate crimes or providing another scope for the criminals to live a life which is near normal, if not normal. The parole and furlough part of the story, I think it is well known. Any slight bit of understanding of the criminal justice system, most of the correctional services, would be nearly sure of the fact that these facilities operate. It can go even till remissions. These operates for the nature of criminals which you are talking about. Now, jails being under the control of the state government, having a mechanism at the national level to audit and to basically pass judgments over things are being done correctly or not correctly, as per the legal mechanism of the country, is not going to happen. What can happen if there is political and bureaucratic will? At the level of individual jail administration, there has to be a very standardized blueprint where technology is also used and the expertise and the legal mandate as it stands both in word and spirit. That has to be implemented. Not that the machinery is not available in this country. Machinery is available in the country. If you crack the whip, things can change within 15 days to a month. But if the feeling there is that you can get away, impunity of different kind. It is not the criminal only having impunity. It is also the people who are handling jail administrations and variety of other things in this country. So that impunity, that comes in way of providing the real criminal justice in this country. So that is where we stand.
All right. All right, I'd like closing thoughts from Madhu and Rao. Madhu, do you think that now it is time for the Union Home Ministry also to sit up and take notice of the entire situation? Because I know that much of the onus right now is being placed on the state, but considering the grand failure that this is resulting when it comes to state governments keeping a close watch on what jail administration should be like, I believe the best perhaps solution is the centre's intervention.
I only wish the Home Minister takes up but my only hope and my prayer is that the Congress does not say that it is a constitutional issue because center should not get into the state's aspect and something like that. But yes, state has to take an action. It is a whole and sole responsibility of the Home Minister of a particular state. But I hope the central mechanism also comes in, for which Congress also will agree to it, because this is what is happening is really a mayhem in Karnataka.
Okay.
Is a situation in every jail, and the government has to wake up, whether it's the central government or the state government, irrespective of their differences. One has to look at the solutions of the problem which are crept in the jail authorities or which are happening in the jail, which are leading to multiple offenses, because they may conspire also in the jail. So that may lead to further reputation and suicide. That's how it has to be dealt with. One cannot take it lightly.
And perhaps that is going to be real equality in the eyes of law, whether they are godmen, politicians, dreaded criminals, or even TV actors, or basically celebrities from the film industry. Many thanks to you, gentlemen, for joining in on CNN News 18. And with that, it's a quick wrap from me. Thank you so much for watching.
Is on. It's time for a revolution to take root. And it starts with 1.4 billion Indians. It starts with one tree. One tree for humanity. One tree for Mother Earth. One tree for our future. Project One Tree, a News 18 network initiative.
Drive-in partner.
Includes the fact that people who are on the top are people who do not believe that women are supposed to be there in the industry, who have certain attitudes, etc. Right?
Yeah.
So these resignations, I think, this is fantastic, and I don't think it should end with this. I think there should be serious attention paid to this, that these are just not one-off things, etc. But more than that, we certainly believe that the Hema report is talking about a situation in the industry. We have spoken about it for a long time. But now, serious note has to be taken and change has to occur.
Also, CNN News 18's Kamalika Sen Gupta has spoken with actor Srilekha Mitra on her allegations against director Ranjith. Listen in.
What actually happened?
It happened way back in 2009. At the very juncture when I was going through my marital problems, I got this offer to work in a Malayalam film with Mr. Mammootty in Mr. Ranjith's direction. And by then I was doing the serial in Bandhan in Star Plus, Star Jalsha. And I had gone there because they wanted me to come over. Everything was provided, my tickets and my accommodation as it is should be. So they wanted to talk to me. The film hasn't started, but it would start very soon. That was what I conveyed to me, maybe the next month or so. I'm very cautious in certain regard. I have a very strict regulation, what I would and what I want. So, and then he was over the phone with someone, a cinematographer whom I knew, whom I have worked with before. And he asked me to follow. You want to talk to him? I said, yeah, why not? So he asked me to follow him. I followed him. His bedroom was dark. There was this
This is CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio.
You're watching the Hard Facts, coming to you straight from the CNN News 18 and Federal Bank Primetime Studio. Viewers, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath's advice to Hindus, batenge to katenge, divided we shall perish, is unapologetically blunt. Not just that, made in the context of an ongoing pogrom against Hindus in Bangladesh, it is unfiltered too. And those who have heard him speak before will know that he is not one for diplomatic niceties. In Dhaka, his words will shame the authorities into a sheepish silence, but here in India, they have triggered a verbal row. The opposition that prides itself on its secular liberalism has reacted predictably. Its big guns have accused Yogi Adityanath of polarization. Before we listen into some of their reactions, or I bring you up to speed with some of the reactions, let's first listen into what Yogi Adityanath has said today that has led to this backlash, this huge debate, this huge row, this war of acrimony breaking out in India.
और भाइयों, राष्ट्र से बढ़कर के कुछ नहीं हो सकता, कुछ नहीं हो सकता, और राष्ट्र तब सशक्त होगा जब हम एक रहेंगे, नेक रहेंगे, तभी नेक रहेंगे. बटेंगे तो कटेंगे. आप देख रहे हैं ना, बांग्लादेश में देख रहे हो ना, तो वो गलतियां यहां नहीं होनी चाहिए. बटेंगे तो कटेंगे, एक रहेंगे तो नेक रहेंगे.
एक रहेंगे तो नेक रहेंगे, बटेंगे तो कटेंगे. As I told you, viewers, the opposition has reacted predictably. Its big guns have accused Yogi Adityanath of polarization, of using his office to spell out a divisive message aimed at heightening Hindu anxieties. The opposition is dead right. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister is guilty as charged, and one suspects, and this is the interesting part, that he would not deny it either. As paradoxical as this may sound, the opposition has a lot to do with creating the circumstances that give Yogi Adityanath the confidence to appeal to a sense of siege among some Hindus. For far too long, for vote bank considerations, the opposition